Steampunk tales, they wind and twist through gears and smoke. The world exists, a clockwork heart, a daring flight. In the glow of brass we chase the night. Engines roar, steam fills the air, a world of wonder beyond.
The city of Cogsworth hummed with its usual symphony of steam-powered life. Ever since Wart and his friend Izzy had saved the great cog clock, a new energy seemed to whir through its copper streets. Wart, back in his workshop, was tinkering with a new invention, a Sonic Sieve, a device with delicate mesh gears and polished brass trumpets designed to capture and amplify the tiniest sounds. He imagined listening to the secret whispers of the city, the scuttling of clockwork beetles, the sigh of a cooling steam pipe. Izzy, her goggles perched on her head, was helping him adjust a particularly tricky tension spring. "Almost got it, Wart," she chirped, her voice full of cheer. "This will be even better than the echo whistle we made last month." Suddenly, a strange quietness settled over their little corner of Cogsworth. The usual rhythmic clank hiss of the automated street sweeper outside faltered and then stopped. Even the distant chuffing of the elevated steam trams seemed muffled. "That's odd," Wart said, lowering the Sonic Sieve. He looked out the window. The street sweeper stood motionless, its brushes limp. A few passers-by looked around, confused, their usually lively chatter subdued. Professor Gearington hurried into the workshop, his face etched with worry. "Wart! Izzy! Have you noticed? A peculiar silence is falling over parts of the city. Machines are sputtering, and the usual vibrancy, it's fading." A knot of concern tightened in Wart's chest. The sounds of Cogsworth were its heartbeat. A silent Cogsworth felt wrong. "We have to figure out what's happening," he declared, a spark of determination in his eyes. Izzy nodded in agreement, her usual bright smile replaced with a look of resolve. This was a puzzle, a big one, and the thought of tackling it made Wart's mind buzz with anticipation, despite the worry. Their first stop was the affected district of Deergrind Alley. As they approached, the silence became more pronounced. The jolly whirring of the pie-making automatons in Mrs. Sprocket's bakery was reduced to a weak groan. Children, usually laughing and chasing steam-powered hoops, sat listlessly on doorsteps. It was as if a heavy blanket had smothered the district's cheer. Wart held up his Sonic Sieve. The delicate gears barely turned. "It's not just quiet," Izzy whispered, her voice barely audible. "It feels heavy. Like the air itself is tired." As they pondered, a door creaked open, and a stooped figure emerged from a building covered in sound-dampening panels and oddly shaped listening trumpets. He wore a thick, quilted coat despite the mild day and had enormous ear-flapped goggles. "You," the old man rasped, his voice surprisingly resonant in the quiet. "You're making too much investigation." "We're just trying to understand the silence, sir," Wart said respectfully. "It's not silence, boy. It's an absence. A cancellation." The old man tapped a complex device on his wrist, covered in tuning forks and glowing vacuum tubes. "I am Silas Sonorus, a connoisseur of vibrations, and something is actively muting our city's beautiful noises." Wart and Izzy exchanged excited glances. This was a vital clue. Silas, initially grumpy, saw their genuine interest and a flicker of something akin to hope crossed his face. He invited them into his soundproofed workshop, a fascinating place filled with strange instruments and charts of sonic frequencies. Silas explained that a powerful, low-frequency hum had started emanating from somewhere beneath the city a few days ago. "It's creating a counterwave, a destructive interference. It's like an anti-sound," he proclaimed. "It's probably from that new subterranean steam shifter they're building down by the old mines. Progress, they call it. Bah! They don't understand the delicate symphony of Cogsworth." The subterranean steam shifter was Mayor Sprocketson's ambitious new project, a massive drilling machine intended to carve out tunnels for a new underground transport system. It was supposed to bring progress, not problems. "If it's a counterwave," Izzy mused, her brow furrowed in thought, "could we create another wave to counteract that?" Wart's eyes lit up. "Like fighting fire with fire, or sound with sound?" The idea was daring. They would need to build a resonance harmonizer, a device capable of projecting a precise frequency to nullify Silas's anti-sound and restore Cogsworth's natural acoustics. Their new project now had a clear, vital purpose: to bring the music back to their city, to help everyone feel that vibrant energy again. The next few days were a whirlwind of activity. Wart, Izzy, and their new mentor Silas worked tirelessly. Wart, with his knack for engines and gears, focused on creating a powerful, steam-driven core for the Harmonizer. Izzy, with her skill in delicate frameworks and acoustics, learned quickly from Silas, designed the array of special resonating crystals and adjustable tuning pipes. Silas, with his decades of knowledge, guided their calculations and helped them source rare vibration-resistant alloys from his hidden stashes. There were setbacks. A crucial set of resonating rods cracked under pressure. A steam valve proved too noisy, ironically threatening to add to the problem. But each challenge was met with renewed determination. They brainstormed, they redesigned, they encouraged each other when spirits flagged. Wart remembered Professor Dearington's words about signposts, and Izzy's cheerful optimism often lifted Silas from his curmudgeonly moods. They even got some of the children from Gear Grind Alley involved, tasking them with polishing the brass casings and sorting smaller components, giving them a sense of purpose too. Finally, the Resonance Harmonizer was ready. It was a magnificent contraption of gleaming brass, polished wood, and an intricate network of pipes and crystals, all mounted on a sturdy, wheeled platform. Its heart was a compact, high-efficiency steam engine that purred with controlled power. They decided the best place to deploy it was from the basket of the Cogsworth Comet, their trusty hot air balloon. It would allow them to position the Harmonizer high above the city, giving its beneficial waves the widest possible reach. The ascent was smooth, the city laid out below them, strangely muted in patches. Silas, too excited to stay on the ground, had insisted on joining them, his own large ear trumpet swiveling as he monitored the ambient frequencies. Now, Wart. Engage the primary resonator. Silas instructed, his voice tense. Wart took a deep breath and pulled a large, cushioned lever. The Harmonizer hummed to life, a low, almost imperceptible thrum at first. Izzy carefully adjusted a series of dials, fine-tuning the output based on Silas's readings. The work required intense focus, their hands moving with practiced precision over the controls. Slowly, something began to change. A faint whirring sound reached them from below, Mrs. Sprocket's pie machines hesitantly restarting. Then, the distant, cheerful chuff-chuff of a steam tram. The heavy blanket over the city seemed to lighten. "It's working!" Izzy cried, her face breaking into a wide grin. From the streets below, a faint but growing cheer drifted up. The listless figures were stirring, looking around with dawning smiles. The vibrant, complex, wonderful noise of Cogsworth was returning, like a tide flowing back in. Wart felt a surge of immense satisfaction. They had faced a strange and difficult problem, pulled their knowledge and skills, and succeeded. The city was breathing again, its steam-powered heart beating strong. When they landed, Mayor Sprocket's son was the first to greet them, his top hat firmly in place and his smile wide. "Wart, Izzy, Mr. Sonorus. You've done it. You've restored the very soul of Cogsworth." He announced that the engineers on the subterranean steam shifter would immediately work with Silas to recalibrate their machine, ensuring its frequencies no longer interfered with the city's harmony. That evening, Cogsworth was more alive than ever. Music seemed to pour from every window, machines hummed with extra vigor, and laughter echoed through the cobbled streets. Wart, Izzy, and Silas sat on Professor Dearington's balcony, sipping warm cider and listening to the beautiful, restored symphony of their home. "You know," Wart said, "I never realized how much I loved all these sounds until they were gone." Izzy nodded. "It's like every cog and pipe is singing its own little song, and together it makes something amazing." Silas Sonorus, for once, was almost speechless, a soft smile playing on his lips. "Indeed, young ones. A beautiful, intricate, steam-powered symphony." Wart looked out at the gleaming, whirring, joyfully noisy city. He felt a deep sense of connection to it all, and a quiet pride in what they had achieved. He knew there would always be new challenges, new inventions to dream up, but as long as they faced them with curious minds, good friends, and a belief in making things better, Cogsworth, and its inventors, would always find a way to make wonderful things happen.
da da da